Johnny Hansen. A name whispered in fear, a name shouted in admiration. In the tattered tapestry of the American wasteland, Johnny was a god among men. Not men of God, mind you. Men of the pipe, men of the needle, men who worshipped at the altar of methamphetamine. He was their high priest, their fallen angel, their very own twisted messiah. Johnny wasn't born into this world, he exploded into it. A supernova of bad decisions and worse consequences. He wasn't a bad man, not really. He was just wired differently, born with a throttle stuck on wide open, a middle finger to the world, and an insatiable hunger for the next high. Methlehem, they called it, a ramshackle collection of trailers and broken dreams tucked away in the ass end of nowhere. And Johnny, he ruled it all. Not with an iron fist, but with a mischievous grin and a baggie full of something that made you forget your name, your troubles, your very existence. The legend was already forming, the story of how Johnny, in a feat of chemical courage, consumed an entire 8-ball of crystal meth in one sitting. A suicide mission for most, but for Johnny, it was a baptism. He emerged, they say, eyes glowing, sweat pouring, speaking in tongues only the chemically enhanced could understand. It was then, bathed in the fluorescent light of a stolen street lamp, he declared the founding of Methlehem. A sanctuary for the strung out, the broken, the forgotten. A place where the only law was the next hit, and the only rule was to never run out. Word spread like wildfire through the underground. From the rusted factories of Detroit to the sun-baked streets of LA, whispers traveled on the backs of razor blades and in the bottom of dime bags. Methlehem, they said, a place to disappear, to forget, to become unburdened by the weight of reality. And Johnny, the man who stared the devil in the eye and made him blink, welcomed them all. The good times, like all highs, were destined to crash. It happened on Highway 10, a desolate stretch of asphalt that snaked through the heart of Methlehem. A busload of pilgrims, fresh meat for Johnny's empire, collided head-on with a semi-trailer. The air, thick with the stench of diesel and despair, was filled with the cries of the dying and the moans of the broken. They say Johnny was the first on the scene, his ragged band of disciples right behind him. He worked tirelessly, pulling bodies from the wreckage, his hands slick with blood and something else. Tears, maybe. The crash, a gut punch to the heart of Methlehem, changed everything. The laughter died down. The music stopped. The constant hum of generators and the hiss of propane torches seemed to fade into a mournful silence. The shadow of death, always a lurking presence, now loomed large over their twisted paradise. They buried Johnny a week later, laid him to rest in a plywood coffin held together by duct tape and hope. The entire population of Methlehem turned out, a ragtag congregation of lost souls. They came to mourn, to remember, to say goodbye to the man who'd given them a place to belong. The preacher, a toothless old biker with more miles on his soul than his